Just gonna wait a moment. Let YouTube do its thing, gathering the people, share the share the notification. But I hope you're having a good day. This is going to be a good topic for those that are interested in fasting, cleansing, detoxing. This is the one. This is definitely the one for you. This is a topic that's very dear to me, as I have extensive experience and information on fasting. It used to be a thing that was very foreign to me, because it was something I've never done, never really thought about, never really thought the need to do it. Heard about it, I guess I wasn't really interested. And then I guess over time, as you become more, I guess, in alignment, and you start operating on a higher frequency, there's always there was a shift, and there's always going to be a big shift. Yeah. But yeah, let me wait a moment. If you've joined, do leave a comment below. Let me know where you're from, if you're a subscriber. And yeah, if you have any experience with fasting, detoxing, or cleansing. I'm just letting YouTube do its thing at the moment to send the notification out that I'm on live. Takes a few minutes for it to do that. YouTube Lives is definitely a new thing that I've been doing. On Instagram, my reach has reduced significantly, and that's probably because of the topics I talk about. But it is what it is. We adapt, we adjust, we keep it moving, keep it flowing, keep it going. So yeah. So I wanted to talk about fasting and why, because we're coming into spring right now, why it's the best time to go deep within yourself while the sun is beaming, while the sun is out. And why, yeah, this is the best time to really honor yourself. And if you think about it, we'll clean our house, we will have a shower, we will clean our external, but we never really cleanse that internal. And I feel like because we can't see what's happening inside, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. And I feel like we've lost that connection with our true inner self. They say that your inner world is a reflection of your outer world. They say you are what you eat. And it's interesting because if you are what you eat, I think because we can still move around, because we can still operate, a lot of people may think that, oh, because they can still run, they're still active, they're still moving, there's nothing wrong with them. But I feel like there's a big disconnect. And I feel like when you've seen another side, when you've experienced another side, that's when the light bulb really clicks. And for me, fasting was, I guess, my real introduction to fasting was when I did my juice cleanse, and I went 200 days without eating any food. I went 200 days on just liquids. And when I say liquids, I don't mean smoothie, juicing and smoothie, and juices and smoothies. Juices is when you put, actually, I'll start with smoothies. Smoothies is when you put a whole food. So let's give an example of an apple. You put an apple in the juice, you put an apple in a blender with whatever you want to put with it. Let's say water, for example. You're putting the whole apple in there with water, so you're getting all the fiber and you're getting the liquids from the apple. Yeah. With juicing, you put the apple in a juicer, the juicer will then juice it, and then on one side you'll get the fiber, and on the other side you'll get just the juice. So that's the difference between juicing and smoothies. So I was just juicing. So I went 200 days on just juices. I didn't eat anything. I didn't snack anything. I'm not talking about no meals. I'm talking about no meals. I'm talking about no snacks. I'm talking about nothing at all. So imagine going 200. Never mind 200 days. Imagine going 2 days without eating any food, but you're just on liquids. Yeah. I went 200 days. I nearly done 7 months on nothing at all but juices. Right. So I have a different experience. I've seen a different, I've experienced a different reality, right? And this is what's projected me onto a different level of just being. You know, anybody can do it. You just gotta have a determination. You've gotta want it. You've gotta, you know, a lot of people may go into fasting or juicing because they have health problems, health implications. I did it just out of curiosity. Yeah. So I was already plant-based before I did my juice fast. And I started my juice fast. Believe it or not, I started my juice fast in March. I ended in October. So we're in March now. So this is when I started. This was the prime time. This was the great time because it was hot. It was not hot, but it was warm. You know, I was getting like fresh watermelons, juicing them. It was a good time for me to juice. And I believe it was 2020 or 2021 when I started. So it was lockdown. I wasn't working. I was furloughed. So I was at home. I was able to make the juices. And I know a lot of stuff now. I know a lot more now than I did then. Good afternoon, Gencraft. Hope you're well. I'm just talking about fasting and my currently I'm talking about my juice fast experience. So I know a lot more stuff now than I did then. So yeah, every day juices, um, cleaning my body out. I only intended to do 3 days, and then I ended up doing 7 days, and I continued. When I got to day three, I was thinking, why am I still going to the toilet? Why am I still eliminating hard stuff when I'm only on liquids? Not smoothies, remember, just liquids, right? That's when the light bulb moment went. That was when the information that I gathered at that time, a lot of the information that I got at the time was from someone called John Rose. If you don't know who John Rose is, JOHNROSE. Type him in on YouTube and go and have a look. Yeah, is one of the gurus of this juicing thing, right? So he talks about a 90-day juice fast and what happens during this time. So he did 90 days. He talks about 90 days. I did 200 days, right? So day 3, I was going to the toilet, eliminating stuff. Day 7, continued, still eliminating stuff. Now the weight, don't get me wrong, the weight is dropping. And I wasn't big then. I wasn't a big guy. All in all, over the 90 days, I lost 2 stone. Right? 2 stone in weight I lost. So I say weight, but what I lost was waste. Waste is weight. Waste is waste is what accumulates. How did I lose it? By juicing. How did I lose it? By not eating. By not eating foods that we're not really designed to eat. That's a whole different topic of discussion, right? But let's just say this. If we can all agree that there's millions of species of animals in this world, and I'm going to repeat this a bit further on. If we can agree there's over 1 million species of animals in this world, let's call us one species of, living thing. That's okay, no problem. I'm going to save this video anyway. We're 9 minutes in, right? I'm going to tell you, but let me just finish this. So if we can agree that there's over 1 million species of animals in this world, right? And we're one, tell me how many others, apart from us human beings, cook their food. let's really think about it. How many, apart from humans, cook their food? We're the only ones that cook our food. And yes, yes, there was probably a time and a place in which we needed to survive and cook our foods. And even then, how many of those species eat processed foods? Only domesticated animals, cats, dogs, you know, birds probably because they'll eat the bread, whatever, but none other. They all eat mono foods predominantly. They only eat one food at a time, really. You know, we've 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 messed up our system, right? And that's not our own fault. You know, we've come into a program, you know, we've learned from our parents, our grandparents, people around us. You know, a lot of the foods that you see in shops, they're not living, they're not alive, you know, they're not, they're all packaged up with ingredients. When you go in nature, they all have one ingredient, right? So I don't know where I was going with this. But sorry, I'm gonna go to your question now. You said what was the diet plan? I was just juicing. I just juiced. Literally, all I done was juice. I juiced fruits and vegetables, and over time, I learned and I learned a lot of information. I experimented quite a lot. So, and then I understood how to combine foods. So how to combine my juices with the ingredients, you know, etc., etc. Now, I'm not here to tell anyone to juice. I'm not telling anyone to do anything I done. I'm just giving you my experience. This is a real lived experience. This isn't something that I've just read out of a book. I'm telling you, I went 200 days on just juices and I seen the light. The light was turned on by day 7. Yes, it might be hard to comprehend. You know, it might, you know, a lot of people might think, oh, you can't survive without food though. Yes, I was still eating foods, but in a different form. I was still getting my nutrition. Yeah. Yes, I was losing a lot of weight, but your body is so intelligent that it's not gonna get rid of anything that it really needs. Just juice for 200 days. It's documented. If you check out my Instagram account and you go all the way to the bottom, I started from there. I've also got videos on here, and I take you through. It's not like every single day on YouTube, but it will tell you what day I was on when I did a video. You know, all in all, I lost 2 stone, and I wasn't a big guy before. I'm telling you, I wasn't a big guy before. I think I was 13, 12. I think I was probably 13 stone when I started juicing. By the end of it, 13, no, I'm lying. I was about 12 stone. Was I 12 stone? I think I was about 12 stone. 12 stone something. And then by the end of it, I was probably like 9 stone, near enough, by like high nines, 9, 10, maybe, whatever. I don't know. But I weighed myself and all that stuff. But yeah, it was an interesting time. I was around a lot of people. You know, you're gonna get it. And I think you really gotta have thick skin to do something like this. If you can't take people commenting on your weight, if you can't take that, it's gonna be hard for you to do. You know, I heard it all. Are you okay? You've lost a lot of weight. Is everything okay? But isn't it weird? We're in a program where when you're overweight, no one's questioning, no one's saying to you, like, are you sick? Are you like, what's wrong with you? But when you've lost a lot of weight, waist, people then comment. Even if you've met someone for the first time, no one's really commenting on, hey, you're like, no one ever says, oh, you're overweight, you're fat, but you're skinny. Like it's so weird. not weird, but it's just interesting. It's just a program, isn't it? So yeah, you've got to get your mind right before you do something like that. You've got to get your mind right. You got to get it right. You got to get it right. And I'm telling you, like, yes, it's not a one size fits all. It's not one size fits all. We're all coming in with different problems. And although you may think or feel that nothing's wrong with you, sorry, let me just check my battery. Although you might think there's nothing wrong with you, then there's a problem. But we never look towards the mental, spiritual. You know, if you're someone that's depressed, if you're someone that's got anxiety, or any other sort of those sorts of problems, it's a connection, and it stems from what we put within ourselves. Yes, food plays a component. Yes, the people that you're around plays a component. Yes, your environment plays a component, but food is one of the biggest things that plays the biggest part. I would personally say, you know, I did a cooked food experiment. So just for the record, I'm a raw plant-based eater. I live a raw plant-based lifestyle. Being a raw plant-based eater wasn't something, sorry, the sun's a bit bright, wasn't something that I intended to do. And actually, it was something that I was avoiding. I was telling people like I would never go to that length. I wouldn't go to that extreme. And it just happened naturally. And the more you increase those biophotons, the more you increase that electrical foods within your system, those trillions and trillions of cells that compromise and make you, you know, you're the complete self. You know, we've got cells that complete you to make the self, right? When they start turning on and firing up in on all cylinders, right? And they start to get their life and energy and consciousness back, you just have to go with the majority. So if you're someone that's eating a lot of processed foods, and trust me, I'm going to go back to the cooked food experiment that I did recently. If you're someone that's eating a lot of cooked foods, and with cooked foods, you have to realize a lot of the foods that you eat, okay, let me just say it this way. If we can all agree that we are compromised of water, you know, you're going to hear different numbers, 60, 70, 80% water, right? If you're eating dry foods, what do you think that's going to do when it makes its way down your GI tract? What's it going to do when it makes itself down your system? It's just getting dry and dry and dry and dry. So now your body has to compensate the water that it has, give the dry foods the water in order for it to come out of the system, right? But what happens is a lot of the time, if you keep eating dry foods, if you keep eating foods that are not designed for you, if you keep eating a lot of processed foods, your body's going to have a hard time processing those foods, right? And what happens is that's when the weight gain comes, the foggy mind, foggy brain, there's no mental clarity, you start getting the pains, the aches, right? And then when those aches and pains start coming, they could be very subtle, right? But what happens is, and you have to be aware of this, what happens is you start having a new reference of normal. So what once used to be a little twinge has now become a full-blown problem, but you've gone so far down and deep into that problem that now you've forgotten what normal or a level of normal felt like. And that's scary when when you can't even make that connection to how you used to feel. But what we say is it's just old age. That's the cop out, but that's what we've been programmed to believe. As you get old, these things happen, you know. And then what comes with the foggy brain and the health problems, you can't sit with yourself. You can't sit with yourself because you have a lot going on in the brain. But I'm telling you, there's a book called, I've not read it, but I just know, and because people have told me, there's a book called The Body Keeps a Score, right? When you're going through a hard time or you're going through any sort of problems, usually we will emotionally eat. We will eat foods that are comfortable. And there's another book called, it's actually here. I've got a few books here, but I've got this book called The African Holistic Health, right? And in this book, it talks about when you eat in crunchy foods, when you're eating sugary foods, when you're eating salty foods, there's a reason why, especially if you're eating a lot of them. It might be because you're feeling like you need love, you need that comfort, that support, you know, whatever, whatever, whatever. Where was I going with this? Where was I going with this? Where was I going with this? Oh, lost my trail of thought. It will come back to me, hope. But yeah, I don't want to make this video too long either. But so yeah, when you have these problems and you can't sit with yourself, you then start wanting to distract yourself, whether it's watching TV, socializing with your friends, just can't sit with yourself, you know. The only way you can find yourself is if you sit with yourself. No one's going to no one can help you find yourself. Nobody can help you get to that point. Yes, you can have people around you that will help you get to a realization, but until you sit with yourself, if you're having problems and until you're able to sit through them, it's going to be a long, long road. You know, if you ain't got the self-awareness and you're not taking accountability of your life, then it's going to be hard for you to just grow as a person. I'm telling you, it's going to be very hard for you to grow. Yeah. Yes, we all have our own experiences in life. No one's experience is worse than anybody's. Tom's dog might have died, but Jack's dad might have. Tom's dog might have died, but Jack's dad might have died. You can't compare the two because it's a personal experience. So yes, to somebody else, they might say that, oh, losing your dad is worse than losing a dog. But to somebody else, they might be like, losing a dog is worse than losing your dad because they don't have a connection with their dad, you know. So we can't judge each other's experience because it's a individual experience. But what happens is if you've had loss in your life, if you've lost anyone in your life, and it's been years, it's been months, it's been weeks, it's been days, it's a journey. I can agree it's a journey, right? But I'm telling you now, fact, as someone that's lost so many family members, that's lost a parent, that's lost a fiance, that's lost twins, right? Death, I'm talking death here. I'm telling you, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. How? From someone that's lost a lot of family members, that's lost a parent, that's lost a fiance, right? That's lost twins. How can they say that there's a light at the end of the tunnel? Where some people might be like, if I've ever lost any of those things, I ain't ever gonna be happy again. I'm never gonna be happy again, or you know, whatever, whatever, whatever. I'm telling you, fact, juicing, fasting has been a tool that has naturally helped me get through life. I'm telling you that my life is so I can tell you now, my life is better now than it's ever been, even with those losses. And I can talk about them all day long, right? And not get emotional about them because I've overcome them. I've sat with myself during these times. I knew that even when I went through these experiences, especially the more of the recent ones, right? I knew that if I can sit through this when it's raw, in its purest state, right? I'm good. Naturally, what happens is when things happen, a lot of people may come around you to support you. That's nice and all that stuff. But when they go, that's when the real healing has to happen, because it's when you're sitting by yourself. That's why people find it hard to sleep sometimes, because they have these problems that are just still sitting there and they can't seem to overcome them. I'm telling you, fasting is like the ultimate tool for healing on every capacity. Every capacity. And I will talk about fasting till I'm no longer in this realm. Trust me, because it's done so much, not only for me, but so many people around me. When I say around me, not necessarily around me in the physical form, but around me in terms of like the connections that I've made online with people, documented. Not even to mention the stuff that they've healed themselves from. But I'm not even going to go into that, because I don't want to get banned or shadow banned on this either. So, just to cut a long story short, if you're someone that is struggling mentally, physically, spiritually, finding it hard to find meaning, finding it hard to get up, then this, my friend, might be your core. You know, it's not a coincidence. Nothing happens by coincidence. So it's no coincidence if you're watching this video. It's no coincidence if you're watching this live. This might be your core. This might be some information that needs to sit in your subconscious to make its way to your consciousness. That's the bottom line. And like I mentioned already, I started my juice fast in March 2020, 2021. Completely changed my life. A lot of things in life has changed my life, but fasting is one of the ones that I can't even, it's not even measurable, right? I can't put into words what fasting has done for me. I can't put into words what my juice cleanse done for me. Those 200 days of not eating any food but just on liquids, just juices, had done for me, right? But there's way, whatever you're on, there's a way to start. Is at a different level. You know, do not compare yourself to someone that looks like they're further along in life. Don't compare yourself to anyone, actually. You know, it's an individual experience. Sometimes it's good to see, you know, look at them, look around you, be observant, but never compare yourself to someone. Never ever. Because you don't know what they're dealing with, you know. Doesn't matter if they're rich, famous, doesn't mean nothing. Yeah, you've just got to it's just about you having that self-awareness, being accountable for your life, for everything that happens in your life. Don't point the finger, don't blame people. This is your journey, this is your life. Only you can change you. So I'm going to end by saying, yes, anyone can step into this space. Anybody can do a fast. Anybody can change their life. Don't have to wait till next week. It can start now. It can start any second. At any second, you know. And there are support systems out there. If you want something, you have to voice it to manifest it. Write it down, you know. So yeah, if you're interested in fasting, detoxing, cleansing, I would highly advise you, even foraging, growing your own foods indoors, growing your own foods outdoors, enemas, colonics, herbs, you name it. If you're interested in any of that stuff, I'd highly advise you to check out my Instagram account. There's a lot of free information there. Free information there. There's a lot of free information online. There's a lot of free information on my YouTube channel. But then I also do paid stuff too. If you want to buy certain things, you can buy them. You know, if you're someone that needs support on your journey, you don't know where to start, but you want to be guided and be accountable by someone that has the experience, then I would say check out my Instagram account and then click on the link tree in my bio. I think my link tree is on here as well. Click the link, and you can have a free 15-minute call with me. And then through that 15-minute call, you can see if you want to work with me or not. Whether you do, whether you don't, that's okay. I'm not trying to force anything. I'm good where I am. I'm just here to provide support. I'm here to provide guidance. It's all free, man. It's all free. There's free information. But for those that want to really step it up, that really need the support and guidance, then yeah, there's a service there and you can pay for it, you know. But there is a lot of free information that I share, so more than welcome. Good afternoon, branches. Hope you're well. Yeah, man. Experiences and research about mucoplaque. I've even got mucoplaque. I've actually shared, and this might be too much information, TMI, but if you do go on my Instagram and you scroll down, you will find there will be a image saying do not swipe, something like that. Do not swipe. It's a black background and it's got red writing, I believe. Or it might be red writing, black background, or inverted, whatever it is. And you can swipe and you can see what I've eliminated through those 200 days of just juices. You're going to see parasites. You're going to see mucoplaque. I'm very transparent, like with my journey, you know, and I know that for some people it might be a bit too much information or too much to see, but that is there, is actually there. So for those that really want to find out certain things, I would highly advise. I know I've got a lot of posts, but I'd highly advise take your time, look through the Instagram. Maybe it might be worth going onto the Instagram on the laptop so you can see, you can start from somewhere so it's not interacting, so you can still post and still scroll on your Instagram or whatever, but maybe it might be worth opening another tab on your laptop and then go to the beginning of my posts and then work your way up. I share a lot of information, so yes, there's pictures there, but there's a lot of detailed information underneath as well. But I'm going to end by saying this. There's a famous quote that I like to, one of my favorite quotes by someone called Lao Tzu. I wonder if I've got the book here. Okay, so there's before I go, there's a few books. There's two main books that kind of really helped me along my journey. And I think this book is probably the one that definitely, and even though I've had this book for about maybe 4 or 5 years, I haven't even finished it. It's almost like a kind of like a holy book to me. And it's taken me on a journey sort of thing. But it's this book. It might be on one of the links on my Instagram, but it's called The Tao of Health, Sex and Longevity. Really, really good book. I haven't finished it, but it's so good, right? And if you're interested in like herbs, vitamins, minerals, recipes, all that sorts of male cycles, like addiction and all sorts of stuff, there's a book called The African Holistic Health by Layla Africa. I've got a few books. I've got Taoist Secrets of Love, Cultivating Male Sexual Energy, Mantak Chia. Then the other book that I've got here, which I've started but not really got too far into it, but Magnetic Therapy. Man, oh, I'm going to show you one more thing before I go. I'm going to show you this scalar projector. If you don't know, you don't know. This is a game changer. It came today. I've waited 70 days, 70, 80 days for this thing. I want to show you something. I want to turn this down. I want to show you something. Watch this. Watch this bad boy. Ready? Ready? That looks so good. Show you again. Ready? Pretty cool, eh? And then, you know, you can use it on your plants. I'm going to do a whole nother video about this, but check this. You can see. Pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, got a lot of things to do with this. That's what the back looks like. I'm going to use this on a lot of things, including myself. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you don't. But as I said, I'm an information sharer. So if you're tapped in, you're tapped in. If you're tapped in, you're tapped in. Anyway, where was I going? So just to finish, oh yeah, of course. Share your books, share whatever you want to share underneath. If you've got any books for research purposes as well, share your books below. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this live. Maybe I'll jump on live just as a Q&A sort of thing. Maybe after this, I'm just doing some work on the laptop. I'm working from home today. Well, working on my own stuff from home today. But I want to finish with a quote. One of my favorite quotes by someone called Lao Tzu. Take it in. And he says, if you're living in the past, you're living in depression. If you're living in the future, you're living in anxiety. But if you're living in the present, you're living in peace. That's the one. You're living in peace. So maybe just take this time, take this moment to observe, acknowledge where you may be sitting on that scale, and maybe you'll have a deeper understanding of where you're at, and a deeper understanding of where you want to go. But thank you for those that have joined. I'm gonna save this video. I've mentioned before, I do not edit my videos. My videos might be longer than your average video that you come across. I'm not using any high-tech camera or anything like that. You know, I've just given you raw, pure information. Yes, that is true. That is very true. I totally agree. I totally agree with that. But we can go deeper into that. We can, but I'm not gonna. But anyway, what was I saying? Lost my trail of thought. Anyway, can't remember what I was saying. But yeah, thank you for joining. For those that have joined, I was just saying my videos are unedited, all that stuff. So if you don't have the time, I guess you can go back to it. You can pause it, whatever you need to do. But yeah, I don't chop my videos or anything like that. So yeah, if you're average person, your regular person, so yeah. Also, I've just done a post on my YouTube channel, which has a link to my free WhatsApp community. I have different groups in there. So I've actually got a brotherhood for men only. Got that. I've got a foraging group. I have a raw food group, and I also have a, what else? There's one more. Raw food, foraging. Oh, I can't even think right now. Hold on, I can tell you because I've just so I've got a raw living food group, which is all about discovering raw foods, detoxing and nourishment. I've got a foraging group. It's called the Foraging Hub, where you can learn to forage and reconnect with nature. And I've got a good vibes only group where you can share uplifting stories and energy. And then I've got the Brotherhood group for men seeking discipline and strength through fasting and accountability. So if you're interested, feel free to join them. I do post in there. These are kind of new groups that I've kind of started up. But yeah, I just want to connect with people around the world. I know there's a lot of people around the world and a lot of people that maybe, um, wanting to connect with like-minded souls. So that's there. So just check the post that I've done on YouTube, and I'll send you the link. Or go to my Instagram where you can just click the link. It's on my story now. But yeah, thank you all for joining. If you're still here, appreciated. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything, do reach out. I do have an Instagram account, so you can send me a message there if you like. I'm from the UK, that's where I live. Weather is starting to pick up a little bit now, so it's cold and all that sort of stuff, but it's a bit warmer today. But yeah, connect with me. Thank you for joining. Catch you soon. Enjoy your day, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's it. Peace.